We can add that back.
Hi, guys.
Hello, happy Tuesday. We're doing it a day earlier this week. I almost said Wednesday.
Happy Tuesday. Yes. Last week and this week, we only put out one YouTube video, and those are on Thursdays. You guys are loving the trends video. If you haven't seen that, check it out. 9 unsaturated trends. I think it's our #1 growing video ever, even faster than our SEO. So check that out if you are wondering, what should I put in my shop?
Yes, and just a fun call out for all you Starbucks lovers. Dylan and I are twinning today. Mine's almost gone. I'm ice, she's hot,
Yeah.
But we are wired and we are here.
Wired because I had 200 points to redeem. So I thought, let me just throw in some extra shots.
Exactly. I love it when you have a freebie, and 200's even better, you guys, because literally now that they updated, you can do 100 points for an iced coffee and 100 points for breakfast. So you literally could get your whole order for free.
Wow. I didn't know that. I did not know that.
Yes.
So today we have a lot of really exciting updates. We are highly energized and ready to share some exciting news. We have a couple things. Well, we're also going to do Q&A. So wherever you're watching, please put in your questions, your Etsy questions. We're going to answer those. We also have your questions that you've submitted on Facebook this morning. There's 6 of you so far who sent in questions there. And what should we kick it off with? Should we kick it off with the summit update?
I think we should, because we rescheduled it and we have some fun updates there. So let's start off with that. Yeah.
Okay. So let me share my screen. All right. So if you guys didn't hear, the Ultimate Etsy Summit got a little bit hijacked from the Hurricane Milton in Orlando. So we had to keep our people alive, and we postponed it. So it is January 23rd and 24th, same place in Orlando. The schedule is here. So you can see we still have some tickets available. We've actually increased the capacity, which is one good thing about postponing it. So here's all the information. I'm going to put it in the chat wherever you're watching.
Yes.
I'm going to put that there.
And that's a Thursday, Friday, you guys. So same days of the week as it was before. So you could even stay after and go to the parks. A lot of people are doing that. So you could make this like a whole thing. So still have openings, which is super exciting.
Yes. And it is sponsored by Gelato and Creative Fabrica and Flowdesk. So there'll be some really exciting giveaways and goodies that you guys will get from those sponsors as well.
Yes.
Amazing. Cool. So definitely click on the link if you're curious. There's some FAQ. We also have a room block. A lot of our members are staying at the hotel. So it's going to be, it's going to be a party, a really fun party.
An Etsy party. And one thing to mention, you guys, is unlike our last summit, is this is open to anyone. So you will be mingling with students of our program, and you will also be mingling just with Etsy sellers out in the universe. So if you're thinking about joining our program, this would also be a phenomenal opportunity for you to not only learn a ton, but also mingle with some of our current students and us, and kind of hear even more and have that bird's eye experience before joining us. So it'll be a really great mixture of versatile sellers. It's going to be really exciting.
Yeah, and we have had a lot of messages recently asking, like, can we talk to your current students? And we have a really great section on the YouTube channel. I'm going to put it in the chat so you can see it. It is right here. It's a whole playlist of our students. So let me go ahead and put this in the chat. You can see all of our students, some student stories. We've actually visited some and their homes. We've interviewed them and their husbands and wives and families. And you can see really the impact of this program. Cool. Let's do another update maybe about the launch upcoming of our new software, Etsy.
Yes, we have some fun things to share with that as well.
Yes. So we have a really great opportunity. Let me get you the wait list first. I'll put it right in the chat. There's going to be a $1 trial. If you are not familiar or if you haven't heard about Etsy, it is our SEO software specifically for Etsy sellers. We have released it to our students, and they've been using it and testing it and actually seeing pretty incredible results from it.
Yes, and this really cuts down creation time, you guys, for your listings. So it's helping a ton of people already. So think about how that's one of the most time-consuming things that you have to do. This software is going to cut that in, I would say, half or even less. Wouldn't you agree, Dylan, as far as listing creation time?
Yeah. So, well, yeah, much less than half. I would say like 1 minute, around like
Mhm.
60 seconds to like 1 to 2 minutes, depending on how much you want to talk to the prompt. But we are giving away listings here on our Instagram. So on our Instagram, you'll see it's the SEO app. I'm putting it in the chat wherever you're watching. I'm going to put it on the screen too. Etsy app. And this is our Instagram. You'll see on here some really funny content too
Mhm.
from this is one of my favorites. This is Kendall. She's how awesome is she? She's our marketing manager, and we are giving away listings, listing bundles with Etsy. So you can enter to win a large listing bundle,
Mhm.
which is 100 free listings. You just have to do these few things. You could win the medium, just 50 free listings, or this is still a good one, the small, 10 free listings. So enter. I would recommend entering them all. There's not a ton of entries, so you actually have a pretty decent chance of winning here.
Yeah, and make sure to follow us too, so you can continue to get updates. And this is separate from our other account, so make sure to follow this one if you're already following the Dylan Jarvis account.
Yes. Yeah. We'll put that in one more time.
Okay, perfect. We do have a question about listings. We could maybe grab this now, Dylan, if you want.
Sure.
In general. So AW says a number of how I guess they're asking the number of optimized listings that they should be completing per day as a new shop to show up in search. They've been listing 2 to 5 new physical items per day, takes them about 20 minutes each. When should I expect to have views?
Okay, so this is the question. I just put it up here for anyone who's not seeing the comment. It's not quantity. It is absolutely not quantity. It really is quality. For example, we have someone who, actually, I'll show you. There's a video on YouTube. We have someone who has less than 30 listings, does over $20,000 a month. Okay.
Mhm.
Let me get you her video because it really, and she does print on demand, you guys. This is not a this is not a quantity game.
Mhm.
Here. This is her. I'm gonna put her up. Her name's Candace. We are here at one of my Oh my gosh, sorry. Her name's her name's Candace. I want to get you guys this video. And she is a great example. Here she is. Okay, so 20K months, less than 30 listings. Okay.
Mhm.
And that's an example to take a look at. But if you can do like 1 good listing a day, 2 good listings a day, quality really matters. I've seen actually a lot of people, they book calls with us. They're not seeing good results in the shop. They have, actually there's this one lady from Minnesota last week who had like around 15 to 20 listings. Like, I think she had 1 sale. And
Mhm.
she was thinking, I might just like do some more listings. And the thing is, if it's not working with 20 listings,
Mhm.
doing that same thing that's not working more, it's not going to make it work. There was a
Yeah.
guy, yeah, there was a guy I talked to in Canada actually about this on Friday or Saturday night, and he wasn't getting sales in his shop. It's been open for like 6 to 9 months, I think, and he thought, okay, well, I'm not getting sales, so maybe I'll just keep making more listings. And I said, so just so I understand, so what you're currently doing, it's not working. You're losing money, right? He said, yeah. Okay. So you think if you do more of what's not working, then it will start working. And he was like, oh boy, I don't know.
Yes, that is definitely such a good call out. And I think a lot of people think the misconception is, oh, I just need to add, and just throw a bunch of listings up and hope for the best. It's definitely sometimes less is more. And like Dylan said, this is where quality definitely trumps quantity, right? Yes, you want to add new listings. Yes, you want to keep it fresh and engaging. But if the listings that you have are not productive, then it's really about diagnosing the why to that, right? If they're not optimized, if they haven't been put through proper SEO measures, whatever it may be, the listing architecture isn't right, the photos aren't right, then you're just going to be adding a band-aid to the same problem. So that's where our program will come into play to help you, because we actually dive in deep and show you how to audit every single listing from start to finish to ensure proper optimization.
Yeah. And this is a great example. You can absolutely grow your business uh, with a very small number of listings. So this is someone who in June, she was doing about $3,500 a month. Okay, come September, now she is doing over, let's see here, we have it here, over $30,000 a month. Okay, we can pull up her stats. Like check this out. So $30,000 a month. It's not that she 300x'd the number of listings or 100 times the number of listings. She probably added a few listings, just a small handful,
Mhm.
right? It's just about optimizing and doing the right strategies to get the sales. Um, yeah, so it's not a number game.
Yeah, and another fun thing to call for Rebecca, like while we're in here, you guys, is she's actually part of our high revenue group, which is a group that our students can graduate to that are in coaching based on the volume they're doing per month, which is over a certain level. And so she recently graduated to that. So she didn't start in that when she joined our program. And due to the growth she's experienced from the course, now she's in a higher level of sellers, which is super, super exciting. So
Yeah.
that's a really fun call out. And then dream creations, yes, to answer your question, do we show how to be successful on other platforms? 100%. We talk a lot about, these programs are relevant for Shopify. Some of our sellers have started to do on Amazon. So yes, our content is relevant for not just Etsy. So you'll be able to add those additional sites. And we actually have a guest speaker today that's actually going over Shopify. So a lot of students in our program have asked about expanding in Shopify, and our content is very relevant to that as well.
Yes. So if you are interested in expanding, we do have lessons on that, but we also bring in speakers who are subject matter experts on specific platforms. So
Yeah.
definitely come by and meet Melissa in a couple hours.
Hmm.
Cool. When do you do listing tags? Always, always. You always do tags. Um, if you have any questions on that, let us know. Someone also said, I feel like it's harder to do duplicate listings on Handmade. Actually, you just have to, it's about repositioning it for new customers. So if you need help with that, that's a big part of what we teach, right? Because you can have an amazing product, but if you're missing the sales and the marketing, then uh, I
Hmm.
mean, you're screwed. It doesn't matter how amazing your product is. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, look at this one. Okay, I've been on, what does that say? I've been on Etsy for 3 years and have been struggling. I only have 160 sales. Oh no. You've tried social media and optimization for your listings. Well, certain things like I've actually heard people say, well, I'm doing so much Pinterest, but then I look at their listings and they're not optimized for Pinterest. So it doesn't matter that you're doing Pinterest if your listings aren't optimized for Pinterest. A lot of people also say, well, I just need to optimize my listings more. Okay. Does that mean doing something different than what you're currently doing? Or how are you going to optimize it? What are you going to do differently? How do you know that that will work? Was it from like a tips and tricks YouTube video, or like you know, where did the strategy or the new idea come from? Yeah, because optimization, right? It's like a buzzword. what does that mean? Like,
Yes.
you could hire someone on Fiverr to optimize your listings and, end up with a really bad situation if you're not careful. Um,
Mhm.
yeah.
And they're probably gonna be more expensive as well. So just something to keep in mind from some of our students that have talked about using them in the past. So I think that's where our software is going to be game changing for
Yeah.
a lot of Etsy sellers. So we're gonna put in, Dylan's gonna plop in our link. So if
Mhm.
you guys are interested in joining our program, Dylan's gonna kind of go through a few things on here as well and talk about kind of some of the value that we have in here. But we do have a booking link that we're gonna plop in as well, and Dylan will kind of expand on that.
Yeah. Also, oh my goodness, if you are a current student, we have an amazing deal for
Mhm.
you. There's only 3 days left of this deal, and it is for basically we have a new type of coaching that we're really doing more of. It includes one-on-one private calls because in our program you do get 4 coaching calls every week. These are like office hours, so they're with myself and the other coaches. You can come on and ask your questions. You don't have to stay the whole time. You actually don't even have to attend the call to get your questions answered. That you don't even have to be there. But these calls are now one-on-one private that we're layering on top. So now you have 4 calls per week plus private one-on-one meetings like on Zoom, where it's just you and a coach. So we have those, and then the unlimited one-on-one daily coaching, which is 24/7. It's almost like Slack access to us. Private channel where you're asking unlimited questions all day.
Yes.
Yeah. But if you are a current student, check your email because we do have this really great opportunity just 3 more days. So if you want to see it, just go ahead and book, and we can show you what it looks like.
Yeah, and send us a response because we'll send you the, appropriate link if you are an existing student with us, so that way you can hear, more about those awesome promos right now.
Yeah. And then the link I'm putting in the chat, this is just if you are not currently in our program and you just want to see what it looks like and see kind of have that conversation about your shop. And we can do that. So that's in the chat.
Yes.
Should we go to some of the questions on, oh, geez.
Yeah,
Um,
let's pull up our Insta questions. Okay, I
okay.
can see that very well, Dylan, so you'll have to read it. My
Okay.
eyes are not working well.
Okay. They said, is there any way we can navigate around the permanent hold in setting up our shop? New setup won't let you get past banking info until the bank posts the full 1 cent deposit. So you can see the text in the deposit to find your code. It's really frustrating to not be able to do more or follow the process in the demo videos on the Etsy success plan. I found a couple steps I can go back and take, but not many. So
Mhm.
what I would do while you are waiting for the 1 cent deposit is start building out your product mix so that things are ready to load in and publish in the shop. Because listing creation and product creation often is one of the biggest time sucks, right? When you're building a shop. So focus your time on that while you wait for the deposit.
Yes.
Let's see what else we have. If you are also not in the Facebook group, I will link the Facebook group right here. There's almost 10,000 people in this group.
Mhm.
Okay. Interesting. Oh, this is interesting. Can we get your new view on what classifies as a homemade item? So there's really not a new view on this. Etsy is just more clear on this, but it is something that you have to alter, or it doesn't have to be homemade from scratch, right? It can be something you alter, you add something to, but it cannot be something like a sticker. They actually specify that. Or
Yes.
or a stamp. You can't just do a stamp. Now, if you are doing, like, embossing or, that foil like, foiling, that works. Mhm.
Mhm. The other thing that we have, Dylan, it might be kind of fun to throw in the link, is we do have another community, and Dylan's
Mm.
gonna be live in that after this, and it is called the New Ultimate Etsy Community. It's separate from our course and coaching platform. It's literally like $3.99 a month, you guys. And the reason we launched this is because people wanted something a little more comprehensive than the Facebook group allows. So there's extra resources in here. Dylan goes live weekly in here. There's a live chat where you can interact with other Etsy sellers. And this is open to anyone. You do not have to be a student in our other program. So the amount of value in this is really fun, and it kind of takes it to the next step beyond Facebook.
Yes, yes. So this community is open and available. You can connect with other sellers. It also helps you avoid the spam people on Facebook who reach out to you. Um, so I will get that link. I think it's pinned in our email marketing channel. I always lose it.
It's
Uh,
actually for resources too, Dylan, in the
oh, is it?
form. Yeah, I'm trying to find it too, see if it'll let me post it in here. All right, I have it here. Let me
Oh, thank
see.
you. That's a good
Yeah.
shortcut. Yeah.
Okay.
And also, by the way, if you are wondering, like, how do I find an Etsy community of actually high achieving sellers? We have some really great people in our program. Some of them do several $100,000 a month, actually. Some of them are brand new sellers, but it's really cool because you can see, all their posts. A gentle reminder, something that made a huge difference in my shop, and they share, specifically something that doubled her revenue. Um, we'll breeze by that quickly. um,
Yeah.
like my shops, seeing increases, um, feedback on Etsy, the software, so you can see someone used it and got sales, 22 favors sold. So people will share their results with the software here too, it looks like.
Yes. We also have a fun section in here called your wins and results. So every single month we post, like, shout out something that happened the prior month under announcements. So in about 8 days, we'll be doing it for October. You can see we have
Mhm.
122 comments already for people talking about their wins in September. And some of them are really small wins, right? You guys, it could be I got my first 5 listings done, or I did my
Yeah.
first $5,000 a month. So we celebrate any win, whether it's financial, getting started, or someone that's been with us for 2 years, right? So it's a really good, diverse look at the vast amount of students we have.
Yeah, yeah. So when you're in here, it's so funny. I think I might have mentioned this last week, but someone said we were going through this, and then they're like, "These aren't real people," and I was
Yeah.
like, "Really? They're not."
Mhm.
So, so yeah. I mean, it is baffling. These people are working extremely hard. Like 5,000 in sales, 8.7% conversion, right? If you're in the program, you can actually click on their name, see their email address, right?
Yeah.
See all their comments and when
Mhm.
they last logged in, what their goals are, right? Like this is a great example of why people do Etsy. I would love to hear if you are watching this right now. Why do you do Etsy? What is your why? This person, to bring my husband home from work and spend more time with family and my daughter, a full time job where she doesn't have to work for someone else. Oh, give my daughter a full time job to build a better life for my family. So
Yeah.
everyone has a why behind their business. Yeah.
Yeah, I was actually messaging with one of our students last night, and Dylan knows the student very well. Nee
Mhm.
had posted on social media some plans that they're doing, and really prepping for Q4. And I was like, I can't wait to see and the results. And we filmed with her in Vegas back in May, and she joined the program like really in the beginning with Dylan,
Mhm.
and she's just continuously seeing the results. And even though she's already successful, she's still in our coaching, still working with Dylan, and every plan that they come, to together is causing still continued increases. So it's
Yeah.
not like she just stopped because she got to a level. She is still continuing to grow and grow and grow, which is so exciting to see even for people that are already successful. So
Absolutely. Yeah, and this person, she has a very big goal, seven-figure goal for this
mhm.
this year. Just write out how many zeros that is, right? Um, a lot of zeros for this year. And she said, "What can I do right now to double my sales?" And these are not tips and tricks and hacks. These are actually corporate e-commerce principles, right? We're optimizing for gross margin dollars here. Ryan, we come from the same, we're cut from the same cloth, right? Corporate
Yeah.
e-commerce. He knows what I'm talking about, right? We have to pull the levers at the right times with the right listings, and we're optimizing for cash flow essentially. And we're not focused on a gross margin percentage at this point. We're focused on her income. And so she has a very big goal. She said, "What can I do to double my revenue?" And I said, "If you do this, like this will blow things up quite a bit. Can you
Mhm.
handle that with your bandwidth?" And she has employees now. She did it. Within 48 hours, it had already doubled her revenue, which is incredible. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's an example of someone that left her day job before
Mhm.
to do
Yeah.
this full time. So we have a lot of students in our program, like former attorneys, nurses, teachers, I could go on that started off doing this part-time and have now decided to do this full time and have left their corporate careers because they did want better life balance or they wanted more time with their families, or to Dylan's point, like they had a why. And then I do want to cover this really quickly because I think this is really important that Dylan brought this up, is that in our program, to her point, a lot of these principles, yes, everything in here is tried and true for Etsy.
Mhm.
Tons of people have done it. But to her point, we are also teaching you how to be like e-commerce business owners too,
Mhm.
right? So it's understanding the makeup of e-commerce and Etsy because it's hand in hand. And we come from corporate retail, right? Like I was a buyer for over 10 years. Dylan and I met at Zappos. All of my buying experiences in the e-commerce world, a lot of our strategies, majority of them are executed at every major retailer. I've worked at several of them, and I can tell you we had iterations or versions of every single thing that we're teaching you. So not only are you learning those heavy Etsy principles, but you're also learning from e-commerce background experts to help you become better e-commerce business owners and understand e-commerce, right? Because if you're coming from another job, you wouldn't know how to run an e-commerce business.
Right.
So we're here to help you do that in addition to helping you become expert Etsy sellers.
Yeah, yeah. I talked to someone yesterday who had a consulting background, and they really were burned out. They had to take months off of work. Actually, they were so burned out, like for their mental and physical health, and they wanted to start an e-commerce business because they couldn't see themselves doing that for another 10 years. And they were very young, young, made great money, wanted to replace that income. So they were starting to get into real estate and they really wanted to do e-commerce. Now they had 3 months off, right? They've been thinking about, okay, I want to get this e-commerce thing going. They have 10 days left. Now they have 9 days left. And they're thinking, I have 9 days to get the shop up and running because now he has to go back to work. And he has a big goal. $30,000 a month is what he wants to hit with his shop. Now, when you are looking at a goal like that, he's working 70-hour weeks, right? What is the value of your time and what is the opportunity cost of trying to figure something out on your own? He
Mhm.
only had 3 hours a day on Saturday, 3 hours on Sunday to try to figure this out. You all know if you're watching YouTube videos, you could easily spend that time just researching. And we know, like, you likely will not have a successful shop in 9 days. Um, but, look at the opportunity cost and how much your time is worth when you're looking at, should I get help? Should I try to figure this out on my own? Do you have time to kill? That's one of my major questions. Do you have time to kill? You don't really need this to be successful. You have a ton of free time on your hands. You don't know what to do with that time. So you might as well, throw some spaghetti at the wall and try to figure it out. And then if a year goes by and you have no results, then maybe get help. But if you don't have the luxury of time, which honestly, only the most wealthy, like filthy wealthy people have the luxury of time. Um,
Mhm. Yep.
then what are you doing? Yeah.
Time is money. And I think that a lot of people that have come to us, some I've met in person, have said, I wish I joined sooner. I wish I joined sooner. I wish I started sooner. I wish I would have just taken the plunge sooner. So, to Dylan's point, we can cut that time for you drastically because you have a program that is tried and true, that has helped hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of other people. And we lay it out for you. And the best part is, you guys, in our newest version, these lessons are not very long. So if you have a couple hours a day, you can get through 3 or 4 lessons in 30 to 40 minutes and then spend the other hour implementing, right? So when we launched our second version, we really took that into consideration. And so you're getting to impactful information in a very short capacity. It's not like you have to sit through 5 hours of videos to get to one action, right? Dylan did a great job of getting to the actionable points in these lessons, and people are loving it because some people only have a couple hours a day to devote. And that's enough time, you guys, in this program, which is so exciting.
Yeah, yeah. And, another thing that we're doing, let me show you this is kind of behind the scenes in the works. We take feedback so seriously, Ryan will tell you. I'm
Mhm.
like a little shark, like, going through the feedback. Like, I
Yes.
need to pick out the things, and, I'm a little psychotic about the feedback and going through it, like, immediately, but, one piece of feedback, and I'm gonna give you a little sneak peek about what's coming, is this really cool topic library. We have invested so much in really doing deep dives into specific topics here.
Mhm.
And these are going to be new modules with calls that are dedicated, live help around these topics. So, which hopefully you guys can see this, your mindset, customer, choosing your products, identifying trends. And we already have 78 lessons, I believe, right, Ryan?
Yeah, we have 78 of these, you guys, because they're every Saturday and Sunday. And we started these back in January, and they're with multiple coaches. And so now we are curating them into a very easily navigatable library by topic. Dylan graciously made all these topics. And so now we can kind of implant them, and you're not having to scroll through just pages and pages and pages. You will literally be able to go to, okay, I want to watch calls about POD. Okay, I want
Mhm.
to watch calls about graphic design. Okay, I want to watch, whatever the topic is, and they will be in there for you. And there's 10 months of calls, plus all the ones that will continue to happen, which are already scheduled out through the end of the year, by the way. So there's just so much value in those, in addition to the other coaching calls every week.
Yeah. So, and these aren't our course lessons, but this is kind of a new, I think I called it what did I call this? Topic call library. So it
Yeah.
looks like it's a course, but these lessons, like for example, finding your customer, there might be 5 lessons on that, each like deep dives, like potentially an hour long, where we are answering a bazillion questions about that specific thing. Because chances are, if you are going through finding your customer, you want to know, okay,
Yeah.
specific feedback about just that and relevant, right? Here and now, fresh new feedback for October of 2024. So that is going to be such a value to you guys.
Yeah, and these are lifetime access, you guys. So keep that in mind as well. In addition to the course itself, everything under our new member hub, which there's 11 sections of value, you have for a lifetime. So you don't have to like rush through these in a certain amount of time. Like you will have this as a bank of information that you can reference while you're working the program, after you've completed the program, whatever it may be, until your heart's desire, which is so phenomenal, right? And like to Dylan's point, a lot of questions that you would have outside of the course lessons are covered in these calls, and you can learn from other students' questions just by watching them. So it's a really great value.
Yeah, yeah, and we even have a high revenue call. Now you have to be doing between 10,000 a month and up to, actually we have people up to 500,000 per month under that category or that umbrella, and these calls are specifically about that level of shop. So, it's really interesting if you're a new shop, okay, what do the big shops actually do? What are they asking? What are they focusing on? What are the constraints in their business? What can I anticipate? Those are all, really, really, like, great opportunities for you. Oh, awesome. We have some feedback from Heather. I love
Yes.
I love all the live calls. It's such a wealth of information to stay on top of current topics outside of the course because Etsy does change, right? Business fundamentals, which are the course, right? Those stay true. But Etsy, like changes in Etsy that you want to stay up to date on, things that are happening this week, here and now. Like a lot of you comment here if you saw a big drop off in your sales in October. Curious, did anyone see a big drop off over the last few weeks? A lot of you did with Etsy's update to the algorithm. Those are the things we're talking about on these calls.
Yes. Absolutely. And another fun call out too before we wrap up, just to like reassure everyone. So we have people come to us that don't even have a shop yet, right? That are getting their shop up and running at the start of the program, and we guide them through that process. And then we have some people that come to us that are already doing really well, but they've plateaued
Mhm.
and they want to get to the next, stages. So to give you an idea, without getting too specific, like our top seller has multiple employees and is doing multi-millions a year. And then
Mhm.
we have some people that are just now getting up their first listing. So
Mhm.
regardless of where you're at in your journey, this program is going to help you, which is really awesome.
Yeah, and if you are in the program, make sure you're keeping an eye on the trends area. We just put this up 3 days ago. We have a new trend here. We have one 7 days ago, another new trend. So we are updating the trends here. Make sure you are keeping an eye on that because these are
Yeah,
trends that aren't on Etsy yet.
exactly. And I know Dylan was seeing this as well this past weekend from her social media, but I also was out in the wild a couple weeks ago and I saw the pastel holiday revolution all over Hoblob, all over Michael's. I mean, at home, it was like pastel explosion, you guys. So we really tried to give you a bird's eye view of current trends as you are right now, crunch time, working on holiday and things like that. So you can kind of just inject these fun little trends. So it's just kind of a cool little spot that we've added for, extra value.
Yeah, and I did see some questions about the pricing for the software for Etsy, by the way, and that is actually per listing. We found that with subscriptions, I don't know if you feel this way, but you're paying this monthly subscription and you're paying it no matter if you use it or if you don't, right? It's like the gym. I wouldn't know, but
Yes.
um, I hear that sometimes people pay for gym memberships.
That's like the best
Sometimes,
reference point though, because like every time I've had one, I'm like, I'm gonna go 5 days a week. And then I end up going like twice a week. And then you're like, what am I paying for? Like I'd rather just pay for a la carte sessions. So it's the
yeah.
same as here. You're paying for what you're using, basically.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, I know, if you're paying for it, it's like, might as well go use the sauna. I don't know.
Right, or the pool or something,
Or the
lay out
pool.
on the back deck, like in Vegas, when we lived in Vegas, I was a member of, like, whatever the big one was, Lifetime or something,
Oh,
and I
yeah.
would literally go there just to use the pool, you guys. Like, it wasn't to, like, work out, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
that's so funny. But yeah, so we didn't wanna have it a situation where people feel like they're paying for something that they're not using. So, really, all you have to do is pay for what you use, which is, I think, ideal for a lot of people. If you wanna just test a listing for $1, you can do that. So, $1 trial, really simple. Now, in terms of seeing results, right, anytime you make SEO changes, you wanna give it 3 to 4 weeks. This is
mhm,
not some magic pill, right? This is a 3 to 4 week type of change in your stats. So, and if you're not seeing changes in your stats, really want to look at product market fit, right? Because no matter how good your SEO is, if the design sucks, if it's
yeah,
if it's if there's an issue there, if you couldn't pay someone to take it off your hands, right? If Goodwill would look at it and say, mm, like, just
exactly.
maybe, give it to the
Yeah,
neighbor or toss it or something. Then that's another issue. Yeah.
yeah, and we dive deep into that, you guys, in our program, by the way. So, we
Yeah.
talk a lot about how to select products, how to have
Yeah.
proper market fit, how to comp shop, all those good things.
Yeah.
Um that Dylan and I did as buyers, by the way, as
Mhm.
well. So we've
Yep.
kind of implanted our experience there, not only in Etsy, but in the corporate retail stratosphere. So, well, this has been an awesome one today, Dylan, don't you think? I feel really
Yeah.
energized.
I do too. And I'm gonna put one more time, schedule a call, just to chat about your shop. Um, and you can just schedule that. Those calls are free. They are the software, by the way. I'll put the wait list in there one more time. Someone asked, how do we get that?
Yeah. Be on the lookout for that formal launch soon, but definitely get your name on this wait list.
Yeah, next week, come back next week because in our meeting next week, here our live, we are going to do a full reveal of the software. So we're going to give you a demonstration. We're going to give out the trials for $1, and you do not want to miss this next week. It's going to be a huge launch party.
Yes, and that's next Wednesday, you guys, so you can mark it down Next Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern is when Dylan and I will be going live. And you know what? If you join, you might get a special treat. I may or may not be dressed for Halloween. So just wink, wink, because it's the day before. I might have something fun on. So if you want to see that, definitely come and join. And then you'll be able to see our new software and, laugh at what I'm wearing. So it's like the best of both worlds.
Yeah, stay tuned for the next one. You do not wanna miss this reveal. We're gonna give you full tutorials, demonstrations, everything. Okay, awesome.